Now it is 9:22 p.m. and you have a truck that parked here by Fake Rehabilitation Center at 42 Collins Avenue with engine on. You have these cars parked, and then you have rearranged garbage trash containers and parked there. Cars parked there. Restaurant, Macedonian owner Emil Stevkov. He owns this restaurant, and I probably saw maximum 10 people this year eating there. So at around 1 a.m. I hear like very loud sound of metal plates and some like water. And the air conditioner, it's like a farm of conditioners there. It's like so loud. I can hear it, like my apartment here. I can hear like all types of sounds, whistling, whining, like it's so all night long. So I'm going to pause now my video, and I'm going to continue when this truck moves. By the way, this is South Point, and this is the first street, right? So Crescent Heights owns this building, and all day long the same thing. Yes, less trash waste collection to trucks. I agree, less than 6 now. So whomever did this, thank you. It's still not less than 3. We still have at least 3, but not 6. But these vans and these strange trucks without any label, any advertising, they are here. And also I noticed in my condominium we have these trucks, these like also strange vans. I think I saw it from Wyoming. And what I see also are these strange men who come during the weekend, and they do a deal with condominium treasurer Marta Trueba. And I hear like really fat guy comes, and like he's like so loud, and he's screaming, "Oh, I'm just gonna give you the money and that's it, it's just a deal, right?" Like this. Like I'm like, okay, like what he is giving the money her for? Like this guy doesn't live here. Obviously he's not from here, and like he's so like happy to give her money. Like it must be some really good deal that he was like screaming, "I'm just gonna give you money and that's gonna be a deal." So the money is to exchange hands. I don't know what, but I think that there has to be something with these strange out of state vans and trucks that park here. And by the way, Golden Dreams Condominium Association is a non-profit, right? So I have never seen this association pay any taxes, state or federal. So from the fact that I see that other condominiums are also have been shown as fraternal organizations on Moody's in 2022 after one of the liens. It tells me that we had some mortgage bond paid securities, and this is why Moody's had to rate our condominium. A condominium was showing as making 500,000 to $1 million, which is strange because at that time, as far as I know, on paper, at least what we were shown, the assessment revenue was 100,000, a little bit less. So you have here Isabel Fine showing on that Moody's page on Golden Dreams Condominium as president, and revenue as 1 million and 0 taxes paid. So I've been checking other old condominiums, for example Arcadia House, and at the same time I saw on Moody's Arcadia House. Then I had Windsor Plaza condominium. So this tells me that those 700 distressed properties that Isabel Fine advertises on her real estate brokerage company page, Miami Real Commercial, it tells me that it has been traveling with her for these 3 decades once she led the purchase on behalf of developers in early 90s after the Resolution Trust Corporation was set up for the purchase of these condominiums as a result of collapsed Savings and Loans Association, the banks. There was like a big deal there, so they set up this Resolution Trust Corporation, and she led the purchase on behalf of developers. And then every 10 years our condominium would have a major issue taking place. In 2002, after 1992, 10 years, I saw that Unit 17 owner, she had a lien, and there is this one dangerous clause that I see in our condominium boards and their friends' mortgages, which says cross default, meaning if there is an issue with one condominium's mortgage, all other mortgages are also defaulted. So now we have this next step of mortgage bond and security and a new investment fund where you can place the same condominium in the new investment fund. This is called cross-collateralization. That's what it is called. No wonder we have in our legal description, our meaning these 26 units of Golden Dreams. If you go to Miami-Dade Property Appraiser, and if you look at the legal description section, you see something that is called COC, which is Certificate of Corporation. So you might wonder why that Certificate of Corporation shows next to it 2003. Next thing what you wonder, why Miami-Dade tax collector shows the very earliest, most of them, 99%, the very earliest tax bill that you can see on the condominiums is 2013. So you have another thing going on, something there connected with these condominiums and Grand Street bill presentment software. Grand Street also is the one who runs tax deed auctions. So you have another structure vehicle there. And so it follows 2022. You see, now you have these strange liens for the roof replacement, roof fix. $1,000. That's what supposedly our property manager did not pay. It was a setup. It was all a setup, because somehow we are having these roof leaks and repairs every year, several times, and no one, if you watch my videos from condominium annual meetings, no one is talking about those liens. No one. And we having a lien after lien from the city, $150 a day, again, for I don't know what. And this all happens around this time, Another strange thing is me looking at my credit reports. So here I have this, such a bizarre situation with my mortgage. I had unfortunate health issues and, divorce and stuff. I was behind paying, and I went through foreclosure and bankruptcy then in order to save my apartment. So I'm looking at my credit reports as I'm going through this unfortunate life situation, and I'm defending myself. I'm defending myself. I'm filing all these counterclaims, cross claims, recall, whatever, motion to disqualify the judge, because the judge, she is not even listening. I'm like, look, this Wilmington Trust, they stole from me. They did not even pay attention that my building address is different than my post office address. They violated the Bank Secrecy Act requirements. That's why they have a name for it, which is called USA Patriot. It's a reason. If you are a patriot, you need to have a money laundering. You have to have a way to prevent this happening. You have to have controls. This is what the federal law requires. So the judge is not even listening, and the judge is, she betrayed President Trump's trust, because President Trump, Ariana Fajardo or Shan, he was the one who made her a federal judge, and then the Biden, she had to go back to circuit court. She violated his trust. This is bad, because she sees, she is not stupid. She sees that that these lawyers, like, basically deleting from the statements, like, I'm telling you, about $20,000. They simply deleted it. Then they didn't give me any, like, the statements for, I mean, the tax statements for 2 years. I looked at my previous tax statements that I was given. I see that there is no social security number on those tax statement forms. I looked at my employers. I see my social security, and I'm like, what is what is the scheme there? But I will go to the scheme still. So I'm looking at as I'm going through this, like, foreclosure and bankruptcy, and I'm looking at my credit reports. I'm pulling each credit report from each agency, and I see that the servicer is showing different data for each credit reporting agency. Like, the names are different, and they merged so many times, because it was Rushmore Loan Management, and they had this correspondent channel with Rushmore Loan Management Services. So you have two of these names in different. One says services, another one without. Then Nation Star Mortgage LLC acquired them. Then Mr. Cooper acquired them. And this is going on while my foreclosure. Like, they are just merging, and it's like Matryoshka. And then Mr. Cooper, and now Rocket Companies. So I'm seeing one credit report says that my lender is Nation Star. Second report says that Mr. Cooper. Third, that Rushmore Loan Management at the same time. And then what I see, it's interesting that now they are reporting my house office, home address. Now I see one with one building number and another credit reporting agency with another one. And that, I know, the thing is that I lived in this building for 17 years, and I know that I did not live in that address before, like at that time they stated, because now I'm seeing that in 2012 I started living on the 75 Washington, and I lived in another apartment. So I'm calling the credit reporting agency, and I'm asking, like, who reported this to you? Like, why I'm seeing this address here? And they told me Nation Star Mortgage. So it's very interesting that it shows 2012. Well, you see, there is a transaction going on, a secret transaction, and a whole another scheme. Like, there are like three different channels where they are laundering the mortgage itself. You know, one is this like you know, I'm like a mortgagee. There is a main mortgage which is placed with First American. No one ever told me this. I just saw it when they sent me a broker price opinion. My own title agency was Old Republican. So then I'm looking at my tax bill while I'm in foreclosure, and I see that the address of my property now does not have the unit address. So now it makes sense, because if they created a new structured finance vehicle like RATE in 2012, and now they put my mortgage there, and I am not a person, but I am a division of corporation, which is Golden Dreams. You know, corporate law says that you can have a division. So by sending me tax returns, I mean tax forms for mortgage interest, and not including my my social security number on a tax form, now that tells me that I am a division of corporation. So now they are defrauding IRS on top of everything else. And then they are not sending me any tax forms for 2 years. And I'm like, you probably know me by now. I'm sending whistleblower reports, complaints to all like federal agencies, state agencies. I'm filing motions to disqualify the judge. They wouldn't give me my tax forms. Then during the bankruptcy, they cancel my mortgage note 3 days before a new Bravo residential fund is issued. While I'm still in my trial period, they file a cancellation of my mortgage and note, so they can put a new clean mortgage into this new fund that was to be issued in 3 days. And meanwhile, they are giving me mortgage modification application. And that mortgage modification application, this is the guy who, you know, walks back and forth and never thinks. It has not a Wilmington Trust National Association, but it has Wilmington Savings Fund as a lender. And I'm like, to my lawyers, these are like supposedly, you know, these famous lawyers, good lawyers, right? Christian Olson, Mitch Nowak. And I'm like, hey, this is not my lender. They have a different FDIC number. This is not Wilmington Trust National Bank. I'm not going to sign this. I'm sorry. I need this correct. What they do, they file motion to withdraw. They file motion to withdraw, and guess what? Now I see on my credit report yet another mortgage. So now I have 3 mortgages going on, because now we have like this new fund that is Bravo Residential, you know, and QM 2026. Now you have these giving me this mortgage modification for Wilmington Savings Fund. But now we have yet another turn of the story. Now I'm seeing on my credit report that I have another bankruptcy filed. One more bankruptcy. So now I have 2 bankruptcy filed under my name. And now I'm seeing on my credit report that those lawyers whom I hired and who filed motion to withdraw after I asked them to provide me correct documents, now they show us a plaintiff. But the story does not end there. The story does not end there. Now I'm starting receiving letters, and those letters, post office mail, And they have like this, the official court letter from Southern Florida bankruptcy court. I mean, it has that type of envelope. And it shows also this yellow thing, the yellow sticker that post office employee is attaching when the mail is returned. And says that it is returned mail, and I'm looking from whom to whom. So I'm receiving a returned mail to myself, and that mail wasn't sent by me. I mean, it says from my name, like Christina, my address, and then to some person. I don't know what type of person, but obviously that was fake address. So now they made me a fake creditor on some other bankruptcy for a fake debtor under fake address. But you wanna laugh because this story does not end there. Now I'm researching the Securities Exchange Commission portal, and now I see that there is one more mortgage, and it is now in this new fund, investment fund called PIMCO. Okay, and now I'm gonna this is the last thing. I'm not gonna bother you with more details because I know it's absurd. It's true. This is gonna be filed to all possible whistleblower complaints. I don't care. What I have to do, but this needs to stop because I need to do it for other people who get their identity stolen. Because you see, if the bankruptcy court, the trustee, she knew about all of this fraud, the judge in circuit court knew about this fraud, right? The same trustee, Nancy Neidig, she knew about the Unit 17 bankruptcy fraud. There was 3 fraudulent petitions. She knew that, seniors who lived here had to pay her share of assessments, and that those, because I was the one who was filing to the U.S. trustee office all the complaints. I filed. I reported the Department of Justice Inspector General for him not being able to provide correct, oversight of the bankruptcy trustee program, because obviously there is a fraud, and I'm telling you this is the fraud. Can you investigate? And no one does. So hello, Inspector General, why are American taxpayers paying you salary if you cannot look after these judges, and trustees who are committing fraud in the middle of the day? That went nowhere. So I'm doing this, I know it's probably not gonna go anywhere, but I want to prevent this for other poor people, because it's gonna be other poor people who will try, like me, naively think that if they will prove in court that the fraud is committed and this is money laundering, because United States Code, right, Title 18, Section 6, I believe, 656, yes. It states that anyone who is acting as an agent for a national bank, if they misapply proceeds of the loan or anything belonging, in the care of, on behalf of the national bank, they commit that crime, which is a predicate for money laundering. If there is a transaction that is money laundering transaction, like in my case, where the bank and their agent, Mr. Cooper, Rushmore Servicing, like all of these under rocket companies, if they just simply deleted from my pay statements $20,000 by first classifying them as suspense account or miscellaneous corporate disbursement, then they went to court and They had the vice president certify that this is all correct, even though the same document showed 3 different numbers. And I showed this to the judge, and the judge just didn't like read it, didn't want to read it. Ariana Fajardo. Now, by the way, there's another story, the very interesting Congo minister forfeiture that she did. Like, supposedly this minister from Congo laundered millions, bought these skyscraper, high-rise apartments and villas and houses, and somehow they went only after one. Ariana Fajardo was United States attorney at the time, who signed one of the documents. So they did not go after any other property, just after that one condo, And that forfeiture order took 2 years. So we, the taxpayers, are paying something, for these old judges and corrupt attorneys, our tax money, for them to drag this deal for 2 years and not to go after any other property. And meanwhile, when you're looking at the Miami-Dade tax collector portal, and you see that there are very strange, tax certificate sales going on this property. And when you look about who was the one who cleared the certificate for the delinquent tax, you see that there is another LLC with Switzerland bank account attached. So the forfeiture case is just a front. This is what's going on. The real thing is in that tax auction, property tax auction. Plus, then you think about this like lawyer software, billing software, because there you can bill too, and registered agent. So here we have this again, United States of America Patriot Act, which states that it's crucial, it's vital for America to forfeit criminal funds related to money laundering. And what you have like these district courts, bankruptcy courts laundering and using these forfeiture cases as a front. So naive people like me who's trying to show, hey, money laundering is taking place. The law says that anything that is used to facilitate money laundering, in my case, for example, when the servicer just, embezzled those $20,000 and then committed Internal Revenue Code violation by sending me incorrect tax forms, and by holding that stolen property from me, because there is another law, predicate law, which says if you are possessing money which were converted by fraud, just that possession is a violation of United States Code, Title 18, Section 2315. So just by having them, they already have fraud income, and that fraud income on top of that is not included in their tax form. So a naive person like me who's trying to show the judge and the trustee, hey, this is money laundering crime. Hey, the law says that now the bank and the servicer, they need to have all of their rights, forfeited, because they just committed like all these money laundering offenses. And all of these trustees and judges and lawyers just laughing at you, like, haha, law doesn't count. And I want to change it. I want to show how bad the system is, because we should not be in this like multi-trillion dollar debt, and all of these buildings like empty, and all these identity theft schemes, mortgage fraud schemes, corrupt lawyers, judges, trustees. Why? Like, why no one is looking what is going on with the forfeiture? My company, Cyber Money Laundering and Real Estate Investigations Corp, has been retrieving and analyzing forfeiture notifications from forfeiture.gov. What you see there is tragic comedy. What you see there is items forfeited which are priced as $1. Socks, shoes, one shoe, like this is all. And when you look at some other ones where they are saying that they are forfeiting like property, and then you look at the cases, you can see that it's written with AI, that you see that it does not make sense. You go into a pacer and you see it does not make sense. It's just like it's a front. Like those cases are not true. And what you also see is that somehow United States Attorney's Office, all of a sudden there is a spike, double in volume around this time, because remember, we are retrieving this every single day from different institutions, agencies that have the right to forfeit. So we are retrieving for United States Attorney's Office, for FBI, for Secret Service, for Postal Inspector, IRS, and Customs. So what you see is United States Attorney's Office. All of a sudden, around this time, before the taxes are due, you see the spike double. So you see, like around like New Year's, whatever, like it was like November, October, 1,000 pages. Now you see 2,000 pages, the notification. And you might want to ask, what's going on? Why, like all of a sudden, are they doing such a great job that they want to forfeit? I dare to introduce another possibility. I dare. A possibility is this. There is a law, Internal Revenue Code, which states if the property is about to be forfeited, it does not have to be placed on your tax, form as taxable income. So you might see that it's very convenient to have some fake lawsuit filed and not to have your 10 million waterfront villa be shown there, because there is a forfeiture order placed there, which is gonna drag for 2 years on the taxpayer funds. But the more shocking thing in those forfeiture.gov notifications is the fact that what you see like something was taken by the government 10 years ago. Maximum, federal law says 90 days is maximum, meaning if government seized the property, they have 90 days, 90, to file forfeiture.gov notification. And now you're looking at these, forfeiture.gov notifications, and you see gold bars seized in 2018, something like that. But then you have all of these other interesting things like blockchain minting machines and stuff like that, also like 8 years or 9 years. So I did write about this to several inspectors generals, and no one is looking into this. So this is my mission. And the final thing that I wanted to tell you about my foreclosure bankruptcy story, besides all these cross-collateralized mortgages in different funds and second bankruptcies. So I received finally, after 2 years break, I received my tax form from my servicer. And the lender is not shown Wilmington Trust, not that PIMCO fund, whatever. The lender says Rushmore, right? The servicer. And the EIN, and EIN is not from Rushmore, it's from their sister brand. So after all the fraud, all money laundering, all the courts, all federal agencies, because I did report the servicer to Federal Reserve, FDIC, OCC, Department of Justice, FBI. So after all of these reports, still they are sending me tax form with incorrect EIN number.